All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Joining us now live from, I don't know where he's from actually right now, but I know he's from the great state of Texas. Republican Congressman Louie Gohmert joins me. He's the vice chair of the House Crime, Terrorism, and Homeland Security Committee. Welcome, sir.
Always good to talk to you. Thank you so much, Steve.
Well, you know, it's my pleasure. All right, let me ask you, in your capacity on the committee, can you add anything? What do you know about the report that there's been some intercept regarding a threatened terrorist attack in this country in either Texas, New York, or Virginia on the day before Election Day?
Well, I know what everybody else does right now. We're not in session in Washington, and obviously there's not been a lot of specific because they don't know a lot of specific. If they did, they would be telling us. But this is an ongoing threat. This is, basically what our president, because of his foreign and domestic policies that have not protected us, we're being told by Homeland Security, these are things we've just got to get used to it as a way of life. And I'm telling you, that is not true. If we can get rid of Obama, get rid of Clinton and their way of thinking, that has them being advised by the Muslim Brotherhood, that thinks that by getting up close to our enemies, that somehow that will make us less vulnerable, then we've got a shot. But we've just got to get rid of this way of thinking. So if Hillary gets elected, continues to be as friendly and continues to cater as much to Muslim brother influence as Obama and as Hillary was, then we're in big trouble. But this does not have to be something we get used to. Thomas Jefferson decided it was not something we had to get used to, and he figured out that you can't keep trying to befriend them and send them money. At least Jefferson didn't send them, $100 billion like Obama has, but they figured out the only thing the radical Islamists understand is if you whip them, you show strength, you put them back in their box until somebody opens the box down the road, like Jimmy Carter did in the late 70s when he demanded the Shah's ouster, welcomed Ayatollah Khomeini as a man of peace.
Right.
And then after many, many decades, Carter opened Pandora's box, and you had radical Islamists that got in control of a country with a strong military.
Yep. And now look what we've done to that country.
We got to put them back in the box.
Yep.
That's how you have any peace since the origination of radical Islam.
Right. Let me ask you, if Hillary is elected president, do you think that, I got three questions here for you. Do you think Obama will pardon her? Do you think it's more likely, as Tom DeLay told me the other day, she'll pardon herself? And would you be in favor of, as long as this, we keep finding out things from the investigation, would you be in favor of starting impeachment proceedings immediately upon her swearing in?
See, if she pardons herself, then obviously she had things that she had committed that were crimes that needed to be pardoned. If she's done nothing, then nothing criminal, she doesn't need to be pardoned. So if she pardons herself, then she needs to be impeached and removed from office. The Constitution gives us impeachment as a tool to remove people from office who should not be there. And actually, there's a good book out. Our friend Andrew McCarthy.
Oh, I love Andy.
And he really didn't just raise, he made the case.
About Obama.
And that the founders did not put into the Constitution any specifics like beyond proving a crime beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
They were intentionally vague, high crimes, misdemeanors. Wow, that is such a diverse thing to say. Well, it was because they wanted to give our our government and the American people a way to remove a corrupt leader without having to prove beyond a reasonable doubt some specific crime.
Now you wouldn't
so
limit.
He points out.
Yeah.
He points out it's a political tool to allow a peaceful transition for a person to be removed who shouldn't be there. And if she pardons herself, yes, she needs to be removed.
But you would limit it to that. You would hold open the possibility of impeachment even if she doesn't pardon herself, correct? Depending on what we find out?
Well, it depends on what we find out. It's interesting. I was giving this some thought. The Nixon years, there was a lot of information dug up both by Congress and by the independent counsel. And under the Clinton years, there was a lot of information, crimes uncovered by independent counsel. The difference between those times and now is, as bad as Nixon was and as bad as Clinton was, they at least understood that you need to have an independent counsel, to have this thing function fairly.
Right.
And the difference now is Obama fights having any kind of objectivity in the Department of Justice. He wants it to be just to us, just us in the Justice Department that defends just them. It's unbelievable that you could continue to have the mantra from Loretta Lynch, same as Eric Holder, that they can be objective enough despite the massive conflicts of interest. It's just incredible that the American people have put up with this and that Hillary's not about 10 points in the poll instead of basically neck and neck.
Let me ask you one more. I keep hearing over and over that Paul Ryan's going to have a really tough time regaining his speakership or keeping his speakership when the new Congress, gets going. Again, I've talked to you about this even before. He became speaker. So what's going to happen? Are you in the running? Do you want the job? And is Paul Ryan going to keep the job?
Well, I think I'd make a good speaker, but the trouble is I knew when I announced for speaker 2 years ago that it would make so many people mad, so many Republicans in the House who had been telling their constituents, oh, yeah, I'd vote for anybody but Boehner if somebody announces, because they knew it was very unlikely for anybody to announce. But like Jim Bridenstine and Thomas Massey explained to me, Louie, if you will announce, you're better known. If you will announce, there'll be a lot of our members that will hate you, but you take away the excuse that they've been giving their constituents, and this will give us a chance to get the number we need to get him out. So I think I'd make a good speaker, but realistically, I made so many people mad. I gave myself up as the sacrificial lamb to try to get a more honest, honorable, sober Speaker of the House. And it didn't happen right then, but it did lead to that.
Just yes or no?
I can't see myself getting elected to anything.
All right. Well, I'm not laughing. I'm sorry for that. But quickly, but yes or no? Is Ryan going to get reelected?
I don't know. I think a lot depends on this election. If Trump didn't get elected, then I know there would be an awful lot of people that would be so upset.
Right.
And we would need to be able to hold Hillary Clinton accountable.
Gotcha.
As I told my colleagues, we hadn't held anybody accountable.
Congressman, I got to go. God bless you. Thank you, sir. We'll speak to you soon. We'll speak to you soon.
All right. Thanks so much.
Take care. All right, folks. Give Me 5 will be tonight on the Steve Malzberg Show. Remember to keep it here with Newsmax TV. For more America Talks Live, Howie Carr, Joe Pags, Newsmax Prime, with my friend J.D. Hayworth. And, of course, as I mentioned, the Steve Malzberg Show, 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. Great lineup. And also a Give Me 5 featuring Louis Farrakhan. Don't miss it.